Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well this holiday season. Today I am here to bring you a Pilates Reformer workout using the jump board and the Bala ring. As far as equipment goes for this workout, what you will need is the Reformer, the jump board, the ring, or a hand weight. So this ring weighs 8 pounds. You could also supplement or substitute a hand weight anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds. You just need one. A kettlebell would work as well. As always during this workout, please feel free to modify as necessary. Really make this workout your own. Adjust the springs, adjust the exercises to you. When you're ready, gather your equipment because this workout starts now. All right guys, so I am all set up. I have 3 heavy springs on. For me, that's 2 red and 1 green. I have my jump board on. I have my headrest down. I've put my straps into my well because they tend to bang around, and I've got my Bala ring in hand. So we're gonna come and lay down to start. If you're using a hand weight instead, you're gonna grab the ends of the weight and hold them above your chest. You're gonna bring your feet down to the center of the board, toes together, knees together, parallel. Slide your shoulders down your back, soften your ribs down towards your hips. Stay nice and engaged through the core. And as you're ready, press the carriage out. As you pull the carriage in, pull that ring or that weight down to your chest, and then press the carriage out again. I'm thinking about squeezing through my inner thighs, and as I press the carriage out, I'm letting my heels drop into the jump board, and as I'm coming in, I'm allowing them to lift up when they need to. Good. Let's start to marry our movement with our breath. So every time you press that ring above your chest, you're going to exhale. And let's do 5 more here. And 4. Last one, press the carriage out, hold it out, turn your heels together and your toes slightly apart and lift them up nice and high. From here, bring the carriage in, and as you press the carriage out again, lower the weight down towards your thighs, inhaling it up to the ceiling and exhaling as you lower. That's it. Let's do 4 more here. Last 2. And last time. Come all the way back in. Bring your heels as close to the jump board as you can, still heels together, toes apart. Press the carriage out again with the heels down. From here, you're just going to lift your toes coming to parallel and then lift your toes coming into Pilates V. So switch and switch and switch and switch. Thinking about that rotation coming from the hip sockets, squeezing the glutes as you externally rotate. And you can do this slow. I'm just gonna do it a little quicker so that I can build some heat in the shins and the feet for 8, 7, 6, last 4, last 2, and then leave your feet parallel. Lift your heels up, coming almost all the way onto the big toes, and then lower down and lift the heels and lower the heels. So remembering as we jump, we lift the heels and the balls of the feet, then articulate through the toes. And when we land toe, ball, heel. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Very nice job. Come all the way in. Slide yourselves a little away from the shoulder blocks and bring the arches of your feet onto the top of the jump board. Roll your pelvis up into a bridge, pressing that weight up overhead. And then slowly lower the hips down, bringing the weight back to the chest. And press to lift, articulating the spine. And slowly lower. Nice. Let's do 4 more here. Checking in, making sure that the arches of your feet are the same spot on the arches of your feet is touching on both feet, and that you're not rocking to the inside or the outside of the arch as you roll up. Last 2. And last 1. Now hold the hips up, hold the weight up, press the carriage 2/3 of the way out, let the weight rest on your thighs for a moment, and then come in and lift the weight up. Warming up the backs of those hamstrings here. Let's do 4 more. And 3 more. And 1. Lower your hips all the way down. Slide yourselves away from your shoulder blocks slightly more. Bring your shins up a little bit higher so your feet are floating up above the jump board. And then when you're ready, you're gonna hold that weight up above your chest. From here, exhale, curl up, bring the weight over the shins, and inhale, slowly lower down. Exhale to curl, inhale to lower. Exhale to curl, inhale to lower. Let's do 5 and 4. See how high you can get those shoulder blades off of the carriage. Last 2. Last 1, the weight stays forward, the shoulder blades stay lifted. We switch and switch the legs for 8, 7, 6. Last 4. Collarbones are wide. 2 and 1. Both knees in tabletop, lower the head down. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, curl and rotate to one side. Knees can go slightly to the other. Come down through the center and switch. And switch. Nice for 8, 7. Last 4 here. And 1. Come center, lower the head down. Extend your right leg forward over the jump board. From here, glue your foot into your calf. Your knees are both parallel still. Curl up and rotate past that bent knee and come on back down. So here, while we're not jumping, notice that the hips might want to shift away from the weight of the ring and really try to anchor down through the pelvis as you twist. Let's do 4 more and 3 more and 2 and 1. Come center, switch out your legs, glue your foot to your calf, and from here, exhale to twist, inhale to lower. Last 4. And 1. And come center. I'm going to sit up briefly just to switch out my springs. So I'm coming down to 2 heavy springs, a red and a green for me. If you'd like your headrest up, go ahead and put it up. Come all the way down onto your back. Let's hold the ring right up above the shoulders. Bring our feet parallel at the tippy top of the jump board. Bend our knees, squeeze our inner thighs, and start to jump. We've got 16, 15. Articulating through those feet, keeping the ring as steady as you can. Last 8, 7. We're going to keep jumping, but change into Pilates V, change in the air, and switch. Heels stay together as you jump. Let's do 8 more here, and then we're going to keep on jumping, but we're going to do 1 jump in Pilates V, switch in the air, 1 jump in parallel, in 3, and 2, and 1, parallel, and V, rotating from the hips. Nice, let's keep going here for a few more moments. Let's do 8, 7, squeeze those inner thighs. Last 4, last 2, and 1. Rest briefly. Take your right foot onto the tippy top of the board. Bring your left knee into tabletop. We're going to do 8 jumps with this leg parallel, 8 with it externally rotated, and then switch, 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 switch for 8, okay? So same thing we just did, just one leg. Weight can be by your chest or up towards the ceiling. Let's start here, toes to the sky, 8, 7, find that range of motion, 6, externally rotate, keep going on this side. Hip, knee, and toes are externally rotated. Last 4. Now we do 1 of each, we switch in the air. Parallel, external, parallel, external for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and rest. Good. Same thing other side, you should feel some heat in that leg. From here, switch it out. 8 jumps with the toes pointing straight up. You choose where the arms are. Last 4. External rotation. Hip, knee, toes, still articulate through that foot. 4, 3, last 1, 1 of each. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Ah, okay. Bring your headrest down again, please, if it was lifted. Bring your weight up to the ceiling. Take one of the arches of your feet onto that weight and take a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Good. From here, you're going to press the carriage out and hold the carriage still. Make sure that weight feels steady. Now, if you do not have a kettlebell or a ring, this is going to be impossible. So in that instance, you'd hold the weight between your hands as opposed to on your foot. If you have the kettlebell, you'd have the handle on your arch, and we're just going to do a leg circle. You can choose how big or small the circle is. Control the weight. Good. Let's do 4 more this direction. Circle can be big or small. I just want you to feel the effort that your core is making to keep the pelvis centered and square. And you might feel a bit of a stretch as you go around if you're feeling tight like me. I can feel a stretch in my hamstring, in my IT band, almost in my hip as well as the leg moves around. Good. Last 4. And 2. And 1. Come center. Grab the ring with your hands. Come all the way in. Take the arch of your other foot onto the top of the jump board. Press the carriage out just slightly. From here, you're going to lift the hips straight up to the ceiling and back down. And straight up to the ceiling and back down. If you're using the ring, you're trying not to touch your lifting leg to the edges of the ring. The kettlebell or the weight could just be in your hands. The last 4. And 3. And last 1. Nice. Let's switch sides. Taking the ring onto the arch of the foot, pressing the carriage all the way out. Making sure you feel stable here before you start your circles. From here, we go across the body, around and out. Let's do 4 more this side. And switch direction. I think I forgot our hamstring stretch on this side, so we will go back to that in a moment. The last 4. And 1. Take that stretch. Come in. Arch of your opposite foot on top of the board. Ring around your leg. Press the carriage out just a touch. Roll your pelvis up. Roll your pelvis down. Nice, last 3. And 1. And lower the hips and take that weight out. Very nice job. Come all the way up. Let's switch to one heavy spring. Come on down to your back. Headrest up or down, you choose. Take that weight into one hand. If you're using the ring or the kettlebell, the heavy part of the weight is going to be on your outer arm. You're going to anchor your shoulder blades down to the mat. Whatever hand your weight is holding, the opposite leg is going to be your jumping leg. And when you're ready, take some jumps here. Hold that weight nice and still. If you'd like to add on, bend and stretch the elbow as you jump. Keep on going. Use the power of that leg for 8, 7. Now this next transition, you can either pause your jumping and then change where the weight is, or you can very carefully change where the weight is while you're jumping. Basically, the weight is coming in between your hands. The ring is easy to maneuver. If you have another type of weight, you might need to take just a second. So when you have your weight in between your hands, you're gonna start to rotate towards your lifted knee. As you jump, you're rotating. Remember, the hips are going to probably want to go in the opposite direction of the weight. So anchor through that pelvis. Nice. Try to lengthen your arms. You've got 8, 7, last 2, and 1. Rest. Switch your weight over into your other hand. Opposite leg is your jumping leg. Hold that weight nice and steady and jump. Nice. Option to add that upward press of the weight as you float off of the jump board. Really focus on the opposite rib, coming down to the carriage. Try not to let it float. Use your obliques, use your slings to keep yourself centered. Nice. A few more here, and then take your time transitioning to the weight being between your hands. Once you have that weight transitioned, add that rotational lift. Good. Nice. Let's do 8 more here. Last 4. And 1. And rest. Okay. Prop yourself up. Take that weight down for a moment. Let's switch to one medium spring. For me, that's a blue spring. Grab your straps out of your well if they're down there. Come to kneeling, facing the jump board. You can have your toes tucked under against the shoulder blocks or relaxed down. And then you're going to grab your straps and your ring. From here, we'll start hovering the hips over the heels. Press the ring forward and in and out. Collarbones are wide here. Try to keep that ring about shoulder height. Optionally, lift the hips and squeeze the glutes as you press the ring forward. Nice, let's do 5. You are moving at the pace that suits you. Because this is a jump board workout, I'm moving maybe a little quicker than I would in a standard workout. So feel free to slow it down. All right, last one. From here, ring is still in hands. You're gonna flip those straps over your upper arms. Bring your ring up towards the ceiling. Slide your front ribs down to your hips. We bend the elbows and straighten the elbows. Optionally, as the ring stretches forward, you could lift your hips forward and up, and then hover. Forward and up, and hover. Elbows narrow towards the ears, focusing on those triceps. Now stay lifted, or stay seated, and just the triceps. Squeeze your glutes if you're lifted. Wherever you are, there's a connection between your rib and your hip. 5 more. Last 2. And last 1. Carefully sit. Bring the straps back into the well behind you. Place your weight down by the side of your reformer. Make sure it's nice and steady. Scooch forward a little bit on your carriage so that you're fairly close to that jump board. Bring your fingertips towards one another, your elbows reaching wide. Hinge the upper body forward. My hips are elevated off my heels slightly, and my belly is braced. From here, just straighten and bend your elbows. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down your back. If you feel comfortable here, add a jump. Nice soft landings here. Now you're articulating off those fingers. You can stay here with this jump, or if you'd like to, as you jump, you can do a quick transition, hips up and down. Hips up and down. That's it. Let's do 8, 7, last 4, last 2, and 1. Land with control. Bring one of your hands back behind your back and press out and in just with this arm. We're not going to jump here. We're just going to burn out those triceps a little bit. 5, 4, get your forehead as close to the board as you can. 3, and 1, and switch. You can jump here though. It's a nice position to do some arm switches. This is something to think about to add to a class for later. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice job. Okay. Turn all the way around. Bring your knees fairly close to your shoulder blocks. Grab onto your straps with your hands. I'm going to choke up on my straps a bit. Good. Again, find a connection between your ribs and your hips. For this exercise, I am tucking my tailbone under just a little bit. My arms are gonna come back and forward to start. Springs should not feel extremely heavy here. Think about reaching your hands down towards the floor on the way forward and the way back. And then we'll add on. So back with the arms, forward with the arms, hinge back at the knees, and come up. Back with the arms, forward with the arms, lean back at the knees, come up. Last 4. And 3. Last 2. I'm thinking about keeping my front ribs heavy. Last time. Now just the hinge. Pause in your hinge. Lift your sternum up. Find back extension in the thoracic spine. Then close the front of your ribs to your hips and rise up. Good. So we lean. Lift the sternum, back extension. Close the front of the ribs and come up. Let's do 3 more here, nice and controlled. And 2. And 1. And come all the way up. Very nice job. Place your straps back into your well. Take your hands onto your shoulder blocks. Scoot your knees back a little bit. So we're in this kneeling position. You're gonna bring one of your feet back onto the board behind you. Your toes may not be all the way to the top, but I don't want them to sink all the way down to the bottom. So fight for the middle half of the board. From here, straighten that leg. And when you're ready, take a little jump. Again, the spring's not that heavy. So you have time to squeeze the glute and engage the hamstring as you press out. Toes are pointing down towards the floor, so is the knee. Hips are square to the carriage. We're gonna do 8 more here, and then we'll continue jumping, but externally rotate that leg that's on the board. Last 4. And if I'm not counting properly, I apologize. Last 2. Keep jumping, just find that external rotation at the hip. The toes are still directly behind you. They're not to the outside of the board. Keep both elbows the same amount of bent. Last 4. Squeeze the tush, 3. Last 1, now we do 1 of each. Switch, parallel. Switch, external rotation. Switch, parallel. From the hip socket. For 8, 7, 6. It's like a little screw screwing in and out of the wall. Last 4. Last 2. And last 1. Now you're going to end an external rotation. You're going to bring the carriage all the way home. Take that same leg out to the side of the board and lift it up, 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 up. Nice. 8, 7, 6. It's a small movement. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Knee down. Shift the hips a little right and left. We're going to go to the other side. Good. Roll out your wrists for a moment if you need. Knuckles are pointing slightly down to protect the wrists, and then press the carriage out with that other leg. When you feel set up and steady, add your jumps. Good. Knee and toes are pointing down, hips are square, belly's pulled in. Do your best to keep that foot high. Squeeze the tush. Let's do some more here, maybe 5 more, and then we'll externally rotate and keep going. 3, 2, last 1. Find that external rotation. Last 4. Last 1, 1 of each. rotate, and rotate. Nice. Your shoulders are staying in the same spot. It's just the rotation coming from the hip. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Land externally rotated. Bring that foot outside of the jump board. Stay externally rotated, little lifts. Try not to shift too much away from that leg. 8, 7, 6, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Facing sideways. Come to the center of the carriage. Grab your strap that's closest to you. I'm going to go for the smaller loop if you have a choice, just so I have a better range of motion. And you're going to hold your ring and the strap. So weight is horizontal, handles of the kettlebell, whatever you'd like. Come up onto the knees. Weight is close to the chest. Let's rotate. And center. Rotate. And center. Because the spring is not that heavy, I want you to really think about the rotation happening from the ribs. Use this opportunity to be precise, keeping the ring at the front of the chest right in line with the sternum. The last 4. And 1. Nice. I'm going to switch to my longer loop. The weight here is optional. If you're using the weight, you're going to take it kind of to the outside of the shoulder. The other hand can be on the hip or down by the side. And we're going to lift up and down. So if this exercise feels challenging without the weight, do it without the weight. Nice. Hand on the hip. Add a little bit of lateral flexion, not a lot, a little bit. Think more about how long you can get down your side body than how far over you can go. The last 3. And 1. Nice job. All right, place that strap back into the well. Turn around. Come to the center of the carriage. Grab onto your weight if you're using it. Shoulders away from the ears. Bring the hips up and forward. Rotating at the waistline. Exhaling and inhaling. Nice, last 5. I had a client earlier today say, this exercise isn't as hard. What should it be harder? And I have 2 answers for that. 1, you can always find more depth to the work. No matter if it doesn't feel hard, you can make it more precise. You can focus on your form. You can focus on your breath. You can find a way to make it really successful for you. But 2, every step of the workout does not have to be hard. Sometimes it's not about how hard it is. Sometimes it's about finding a connection between the ribs and the pelvis. Pilates is multifaceted. Bring that weight to the shoulder, press up overhead and down, weight or no weight. So if your props, that being said, if your props are helping you, use them. If they're challenging you in a good way, use them. If they are not, if they're hindering your movement, stop using them. Nice, or use them where you can. Add that lateral flexion. Last 4. And one more time. Nice. And rest. Both straps in the well. Headrest up as an option. You still have that one medium spring on. We're going to come down onto the carriage on our back. Again, spring is fairly light here. Last jumping series. All 10 toes. Actually, we're going to do one more thing before we jump. So let's go heels together, toes apart at the top of the board. Weight up to the chest. Take a breath, inhale here. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and chest forward. Come to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, and then slowly lower down. You can stay here. You can roll up to your sacrum, or you can roll up all the way. If you're rolling up all the way, bring that weight overhead, then slide it in front of you and roll down. Control it. Last 3. 2. And 1. Nice, roll down. If you've slid up towards your shoulder blocks, give yourself a little more space. You're still in Pilates view with that ring right overhead. From here, we're gonna start jumping. Squeezing the inner thighs in the air. This should feel nice and floaty. And then when you're ready, as you jump, curl your head, neck, and chest forward. When you're ready, curl your head, neck, and chest forward and split the legs and land. Head can be down if the neck is bothering you. Last 5. Last 3. And 1. Land. Bring your feet and your inner thighs together. Turn your toes and your knees to one side. Your ring is going to press up to the ceiling every time you jump. And when you jump, you're going to rotate your knees to one side and then the other. Rotating from the waist. So lots of things going on. If pushing the ring up to the ceiling gets confusing mentally, you can take that part out and hold the ring up or close to your chest. Nice. Switch the weight into one hand. Keep rotating through the knees. Last 4. Last 1. Switch the weight into the other hand and keep rotating through the knees. Last 4. Last 2. And last 1. Pause for a moment. Place your weight down. Slide yourself away from your shoulder blocks. Bring your hands behind your head. Angle the knees to the left. Jump with the knees to the left only. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Now when you're ready, take your right hand up towards the ceiling. And as you jump, you're going to tap your ankle or your knee and land. So little angled tuck. I'm increasing the rotation of my knees as I jump, but I'm still landing with the knees slightly to that side. Let's do 8, 7. Exhale, 6. We're going to transition after these 4 into both hands behind the head. Last 2. Last 1. Keep jumping, rotating the knees to the other side. When you're ready, adding that opposite hand up and your tuck.
for 8. Zip up those inner thighs. Last 4. Last 2. And 1. Rest for a moment. Grab your weight in your hands. Weight up to the ceiling. Straighten both legs. Bring one knee into the chest. Start a slow switch of the legs. Head can be down here or head can be lifted. Start to pick up the pace of your knees. Start to run your knees. Nice. Carriage is not moving too much. Just a little bounce. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Very nice job, guys. Take the sides of your feet onto the top of the board. Just rock your knees a little side to side. You can place that weight down by the side of the carriage if you'd like now, or just hold it in your hands is fine. Exhale the breath. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. Find stillness. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Slight change in the breath. Inhale through the nose. Inhale a little more. Inhale a little more. And exhale everything. Inhale the breath. Inhale a little more. Inhale a little more. And exhale everything. 2 more just like that. Inhale. 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 Exhale. Last time. Inhale. 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 Exhale. Slowly open your eyes. Come all the way up. Feet flat on the ground. Inhale your arms up. And exhale the arms down. And one more time. Inhale the arms up. And exhale the arms down. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that workout. Please feel free to leave me a comment or a question down below. Subscribe and share. Have a happy holiday season, and I will see you again soon. Bye.